Hello, beloved church family of the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living. My name is Paul Pursuti, and I'll be your host tonight. I welcome you to our midweek oasis, our Wednesday night service. As you'll be able to experience tonight, our Wednesday night oasis is a place where we can come together as a community to be spiritually refreshed between Sundays. Most Wednesday night services build upon the theme of the previous Sunday, sharing in a satsang style, expressing the science of mind principles and practices. And it's our intention that these gatherings be informal, intimate, and interactive. Let me remind you of our annual theme for 2024. It's a grand rising. And our monthly theme for February is, interestingly enough, divine discomfort. Last Sunday, Reverend Mutima Imani introduced ideas inspired by the talk title of Pain Pushes Until Vision Pulls. And tonight, our speaker will continue the exploration of this same topic. So as we gather tonight, I really want to welcome you. Early in her ministry with us, Reverend Sunshine invited us to come to the center. And when we come to the center, under her invitation, she says, come to the center well. So to do that, she said, use these 6 C's and consider and incorporate them when we do come to this center. Come with a heart of love and tenderness, which she calls compassion. Come ready to exchange openly, also known as communication. Come in friendship and family. We'll call that camaraderie. Come in harmony and ready to share, known as communion. Come in partnership and cooperation, a big theme for this year, called collaboration. And then finally, come in spiritual awareness and truth. And she calls that consciousness. So as we move into the program tonight, these 6 C's are the premise of sharing a wonderful evening with you tonight. Now, if you're new to our community, joining this feed right now, or watching us on a recording, please check out our homepage at www.oaklandcsl.org of our website and click on the I'm New icon at the lower left-hand. Oh, I'm sorry. When you click on that icon, a new page will appear. And at the lower left-hand corner of that page, you'll be able to submit your email address. Once you do, you'll begin receiving the Village News newsletter once a week in your email. This newsletter has all the information on what is happening at the center in the coming weeks. So before we get started with the talk, I'm going to ask you now to mute your own audio microphone. You can leave your camera on, that's okay, so the speaker can see you. But by muting your microphone, it will improve the quality of our recording and tonight's transmission. And please stay tuned to the end of the service so you can hear and receive special and important announcements. So as we do with every organized event at the center, we begin with prayer. And tonight, we've asked practitioner Alice Knudsen to open us in prayer. Alice?
Okay, everyone. So just take a nice deep breath in and out. Just knowing that this is the breath of life. This is God itself breathing us. And as we go inside and enter into that sacred sanctuary within, I know that God is everywhere present. And in this silence, this is where we make contact with that beautiful golden vibration of love and light. For there is only one life, And that life is God's life. And that life is my life right here and right now. And so I bless this time together, knowing that we are all individual manifestations of the one. And this divine love is guiding us, breathing us, leading us into an evening where we will emerge fulfilled and blessed and filled with the love and oneness of the true nature of who we really are. And so, blessing this time, I know that Freddie is bringing something wonderful to us tonight, and that in hearing his presentation, our hearts will open up and we will be blessed by all that is delivered, because spirit is back of everything. And so as we breathe in and we breathe out, knowing that the AV team is blessed, that everyone that is here is blessed by their presence, and we are blessed to be together tonight. And so knowing that everything is in the hands of our beloved, sacred God, goddess, I know this will be a spectacular evening. And so please join me in saying, and so it is. Blessed be.
So it is. So as Alice mentioned in her prayer, Freddie, quote unquote, is our speaker for tonight, and he's known as Freddie Lambright III. So I have a little information to share with you about him. Freddie is a Black, gay, interdisciplinary artist born in Oakland, California. He has lived all over the East Bay and in Chicago while pursuing his BFA at the School of the Art Institute of Chicago. Freddie is a trained illustrator, focusing on biological illustrations of animals, Afrofuturism, Black political artwork, and his synesthetic. I had to practice that. You know, sometimes I do so much better if I just wing it, right? Synesthetic experiences with music, and I'm sure he'll explain what all of that means. Freddie is also a DJ, and his residences at Town Bar, Fluid 510, Lower Grand Radio, and the White Horse Inn. He currently works in HR as the Director of People Operations at a nonprofit in San Francisco, focusing on providing basic needs, education, and workforce development to queer and trans youth aged from 14 to 24. It is with great pleasure that I bring forward the wonderful Freddie Lambright III. Freddie, it's all yours.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to be here tonight. Thank you so much for having me. So looking forward to speaking all with you. I am still currently here at work. I'll go into my role as Director of People Operations a little bit tied to the topic today. I needed to close the space at 6 p.m., so I'm taking the call here. So if you hear any background noises, cars on the street, please ignore. I'm in the Castro here in San Francisco. But with that, I will begin to share my screen and we will get into the topic. All right. So for today's presentation, I will be continuing on the theme, pain pushes until vision pulls, and bringing my little twist in here, a masterclass in delusional optimism. I will be a little facetious and a little tongue-in-cheek here in the presentation. So just kind of bear with me, but you know, you have to kind of make some humor out of pain to get through those tough times. So just kind of going over the general kind of flow of the presentation, we'll be starting out talking a bit about pain, kind of talking about pain points. I want to give a small kind of trigger warning. I will be mentioning kind of the genocide that's happening and to the people of Palestine. as well as folks that are in Rafa right now. It'll just be kind of a general overview. I won't be sharing any pictures or anything, but there's a lot that's happening politically in our world right now. So I will be addressing some of that. It's also Black History Month, so I will also be bringing some of my history and some of that history in as well, but I do just kind of want to frame that. I'll also be talking about seahorses. They've been really big for me, and it's really also been helping me move through pain. We'll then get into vision, tying that into pain, leading us into acceptance. And then I also have some discussion questions for us to go over in some small breakout rooms at the end of the presentation. So with that, I'll talk a little bit more about myself. So I am a diehard optimist. As y'all know, I'm sure my mom is Dr. Reverend Sunshine Michelle Coleman. And it's kind of hard to not be an optimist when your mother is literally named Sunshine. So I feel like I'm kind of split. I do think part of it is I do get that optimism from my mom. It is just kind of naturally a part of who I am. It is just part of my natural disposition. I do see the glass half full, and I'm always kind of looking for the positives to keep me going and to kind of give me that motivation. And then I kind of coined the term delusional optimism. I'll get more into it, I believe in the next slide or the following slide after that, as why I facetiously call it delusional optimism. But it truly is my life raft. If I don't see the brighter side or the positives or kind of that balance, um, it's really difficult. I think there's a lot of pain and suffering and a lot of cruelty that happens in the world. And if I'm not able to see the brighter side or something to kind of balance that out, it makes life really difficult and unenjoyable to live through. Not so I actively seek the joy and I seek the brighter things, and that's kind of what helps get me through. And then to that, I do also want to mention some things. I know, as I mentioned before, there's a lot that's happening in the world, in Palestine, in Sudan, in the Congo, here in America as well. And I'm not going to, fix the world or talk about overcoming all aspects of pain in a 20-minute presentation. So I ask that you kind of be like a net, and just let the water comes through. And if anything sticks, if anything has some meat, catch it and then carry that with you through the day, through the week, through the month, through your life, however that may help you. So with that, I'll kind of get into our first section, which is on pain. So pain, I think, is the ultimate lesson. You learn so much going through pain, and I think it's going through the pain and coming out on the other side where the lesson is learned. And I'll get more into that later on. But pain requires faith. You may not see the lesson when you're in the midst of pain. If you break your leg, you're not thinking actively about, oh, in, 3 or 4 months, I'll be able to walk again or however long. You're thinking, I need to get this treated. This hurts. So when you're in the midst of whatever struggle it is, whether you're dealing with the loss of a loved one, financial struggles, whatever it may be hard to see past what's going to happen today, tomorrow, this week, because you're living in this moment. But pain requires faith, just knowing that this is temporary, whatever it is, I'm going to be able to get through it. And then once you're on that other side, then you can reflect and be like, this is what I was supposed to learn. This is how I'm different, how I'm better, how I'm changed, how I've grown. And that's kind of where that realization, that vision kind of comes from. And pain also has a great way of showing us how strong we are. I did not know I can do or withstand some of the things that I've gone through in life until I've had to go through them. And I'm just shocked when it's all said and done. It's like, wow, I really did that. Like I made it through. So pain is a great teacher. It's really great at showing you your capabilities, your strong suits, and really how much you can grow as a person, even if it does hurt and it is painful. And pain is also like anger. So I am very in tune with my emotions. For those of y'all who are into astrology, I am a triple water sign. My sun and moon are in Pisces, and my rising is Cancer. So me and emotions are tight like this. But out of all of the emotions, anger is one that I'm least familiar with. One part of my disposition, I'm very easygoing. I'm very go with the flow. Also, truthfully, part of it is learned and trained. There is a stereotype that Black men are angry or aggressive, and I've kind of had to work to ensure that what people are seeing of me, because they don't know me personally, that I'm not perpetuating something that they can then reinforce as a negative stereotype. So when I am angry, it's not as intuitive on how to navigate or understand that anger. But through talking with other people, through watching some helpful inspirational videos, understanding that anger is a teacher has been really helpful. And in that, I'm good with analyzing my emotions. And once I understand what I'm feeling on the inside, no matter how many layers, how complex it is, I can articulate it. And at that point, then I can deal with the emotion and understand how to work through it. So for me, anger is never usually the root. Usually anger is, two, three, four sub layers, above it. Usually it might be like shame, and then, insecurity, and then, frustration. And because I can't, there's all these are mixed together, then that's where the anger kind of comes out. It's never usually the root. So for me, understanding, why am I angry? Is it for me? Was it something I did? Was it something they did? Kind of understanding that helps me better understand my emotions. And I think pain is similar. Pain is uncomfortable. It hurts. But understanding why you're going through it or what it is there to teach you kind of helps make it bearable, in my opinion, to move forward and kind of get to where you need to go. And to that point, when you're in pain, you're already moving through discomfort. Change is uncomfortable. It's necessary. It helps us grow, but change isn't always something that's really cushy and something that's really easy. So understanding that you're in this discomfort, you're in a transition, you're in a point of change, but you're going to know that you're going to get to the other side, and it's not going to be painful. Or if it's a pain that never goes away, like the loss of a loved one, you learn how to live with that pain. It may still be there, but it just gets a little more bearable each day. So with that, I'll kind of speak to some of my current pain points. So as I mentioned, I work at Lyric. We are a youth nonprofit that provides direct service, workforce development, and education for queer and trans youth ages 14 to 24. I am third generation HR. My mom has worked her whole career in HR, as well as my grandmother, my mom's mom. So I just kind of fell into it, but it's fun and chaotic in the best way possible sometimes. But a current pain point is we are a nonprofit, and a lot of our money comes from city funding, and San Francisco is experiencing some budget cuts. So we have also gotten some of our budget cuts, which has had to lead now to 2 rounds of layoffs. The first round of layoffs were very difficult. It was purely financial, nothing performance based, but we were letting go people who were the sole breadwinners of their families, people who had dependents or needed medical insurance for their prescription medication so it wouldn't be so expensive. And breaking that news to someone is really difficult. And then having the staff reactions afterwards, because it kind of came out of nowhere to them. It was news to us. If we weren't going to lay people off, we weren't going to make payroll, and we weren't going to be able to pay people. So it was a very black and white situation, but people were still very upset about it, understandably. And ultimately that kind of led to another round of layoffs. We're still trying to go through our finances. We're still trying to do what we can. And as an organization now for our size, we're about as bare bones as we can operationally be. Um, but it's been a very difficult time. I think this has probably been my most challenging time in my HR career so far. And then on top of that, I got into a fender bender about 3 weeks ago, and I need some car repairs amid some financial struggles. So along with the layoffs, we've also had a pay reduction. So I'm not making as much as I was to pay for these car repairs. But again, that kind of weird delusional optimism, I was actually thankful to have a personal issue that wasn't related to work. So in a weird way, it was nice to be like, oh, cool, I actually have to worry about something else that's not around layoffs or work today. So in a weird way, that was kind of nice. And again, it's that facetiously delusional optimism that kind of keeps me looking forward or trying to, again, make the best out of a bad situation. And lastly, kind of tying to that delusional optimism is I've been trying to tell myself as a mantra in 5 years, everything that I'm going through right now with these layoffs, with these car repairs, it's going to be nothing more than just a good story to tell to people, right? At least the pain that I'm experiencing right now most likely won't be with me in 5 years. So just kind of having a light at the end of a tunnel where I'm growing, this is experience, this is, change and development, knowing that something better is going to come later on is making the pain right now a little more bearable and tolerable. So in that, I'll also be kind of speaking to global and historical pain. Um, it's very tragic and upsetting what's been happening to the people of Palestine since October, and really decades, generations have passed of their oppression and genocide. And even though it is tragic, and not just the people of Palestine, but also what's happening in Sudan and Congo, the exploitation, the forced labor, all for minerals so that we can power our devices and things like that. People are still finding a way to find joy and to find something to be happy about and to care amidst all of this tragedy. People are still finding a sense of happiness. And that's something that I also kind of wanted to touch on and find really inspirational. Here, if you can see my cursor on the left-hand side, this is a picture of Basan. She is a journalist, documentarian. She's famous for kind of opening her messages with, "It is day 135 of the genocide in Palestine. I'm still alive." And that means so much for people because since she has a big platform, people care about her. And there have been times when the bombing will not stop, the electricity has been turned off, the internet has been turned off, and we won't hear from her for weeks at a time until she pops back on and say, "Hey, I'm still here, I'm still alive." And seeing in this is a still from a video where she was with some kids, some Palestinian kids, making kites and just flying kites and just finding a little piece of joy and reprieve. It just really means a lot, and it's really inspirational. And I'm tying this to vision that they know that this isn't the end for the Palestinian people. They know that there's more than what will happen right now, and there will be more Palestinians in the future. And to that, going from the future to the past, we're in Black History Month right now. We're nearing the end, but Black history is huge and pivotal in America. And I want to tie a bit of my history to that. I talked about my mom, Sunshine. I talked about my grandma, Edna, and I want to talk about my great grandma, Lena Gramio Dixon, who was famous for her quilting. And quilting has a long history in the African American community as a way to provide messages, to provide pathways and kind of secret codes so that we can survive, and that it was our way of envisioning a future and ensuring that we lived beyond what we're experiencing right now. Quilts would be codes to be like, "This is a safe house," or "Don't come this way," or we would braid or cornrow escape routes into our hair. The vision that Black people had that to overcome their enslavement and to overcome their oppression is remarkable and truly inspiring. And because I'm an artist, I wanted to include a quilt done by Faith Ringgold. And then also, quick sidebar, I always give credit to Denenge Akpem, who is a Nigerian American interdisciplinary artist and all around amazing, badass human being. I wouldn't be the artist I am without her and her teaching and curriculum. So I love her. And she introduced me to Faith Ringgold. But this quilt in particular is massive. But it's really centered around these two sleeping children on a Harlem rooftop amongst their family, dreaming that they can fly, to get out of the ghetto, to have a beautiful life. And there's little texts and stories here that's a little too small to read, but I do recommend that you look up Faith Ringgold and look at her work. Truly inspirational artist. But in art, there comes a vision that surpasses oppression, knowing that there is something in the future. And to that, I'm going to get into the seahorse. Um, Now, truthfully, I wasn't a huge like seahorse fan kind of until recently. I mean, they're kind of fun, funky little creatures. But it was really random. It was kind of around October, November, kind of before this tumultuous time of my life kind of started happening. And I saw a seahorse randomly, just like on an advertisement. I'm like, okay, yeah, it's a seahorse. And then I went grocery shopping later that day and I saw a guy had a seahorse tattoo on his leg, and I was like, huh, that's kind of weird. I don't see seahorses a lot, and it's come up twice in one day. So I did quick Google and did some research and found the spiritual meaning of the seahorse. And I thought it was so applicable to the things that I'm now experiencing as a reminder on how to navigate through tough situations. So some of the spiritual aspects of the seahorse is that it is an aquatic animal. So it carries traits of the water. It is adaptable, empathetic, it's flowing, it's graceful. I'm a water sign, so I resonate. It's also a navigator. Seahorses are such small creatures, but they move through the ocean's rough currents with such grace and with such ease. They're really remarkable creatures. And in that they're grounded. They use their prehensile tail to hold on to branches underwater or to coral and anchor themselves. And I think um, that's such a good point to remember when you're navigating through pain. One, that you just have to flow and you have to move with it, your emotions, the situations that are happening, but also to stay grounded, to know that to not get caught up in the tumultuous current of the situation around you, and to root yourself and be like, it's okay. We're going to make it through. We're going to guide and we're just going to flow. And then we're going to make our way through. But a big part that I love about the seahorse is the duality of masculine and feminine, because the seahorse, the males, the fathers are the ones that give birth. So they kind of have that paternal father, maternal mother aspect to them, which I love about that duality. And I think pain is duality. Not all pain is bad. And there can be good that comes out of pain. Forest fires are awful living here in California, but in a way, we do need forest fires so that we can get new trees, so that we can get new growth, so that there is something that comes out from the destruction, its transformation and its growth. So I did just want to highlight that and kind of how I'm constantly reminding myself, be like a seahorse. It's okay. We'll get through this. And then just kind of make my way through. And nature is a wonderful teacher. These are not the discussion questions, but maybe just kind of jot down or just kind of generally think about when you're in pain, what can the natural world teach you? How can you, or how can nature give context to your pain? How can nature frame your pain? And lastly, how can nature soothe your pain? Not numb it, but soothe it. And that's also something I'll talk about a little later on, is not numbing the pain. You should sit with it, even though it is uncomfortable, even though it does hurt. It's necessary, I think. Otherwise, you're just prolonging it, you're preventing it, you're not getting to the root of it, and you won't heal the same way. Yeah. So I think y'all get what I'm talking about. So I'll also kind of move us into now our vision section. So as I mentioned, pain is the ultimate lesson, and pain is transformative. Pain is a symbol of healing. Knowing that you're in a place where you don't want to be, where you don't feel comfortable, where it hurts, helps you understand that one, this isn't the end goal, and this isn't where I want to be. It kind of helps frame where you are on your life trajectory. And again, it's necessary. Change isn't always comfortable, but it is necessary for us to go through and to transform. And pain also requires having a lot of faith, knowing that, again, the current pain is nothing but a step along your journey. And also, having faith means kind of walking in blindness, but it's really only blindness to you. You may not know what's around the corner. You may not know what's 2 years down the line, but Spirit knows. Spirit already been new. Spirit was already working it out. Spirit was like, I have a plan. You're going to go through this. It's not going to be fun, but you're going to live and you're going to get through it. And I think that's really important to remember. And one thing I'm really thankful for Science of Mind is knowing that when things are difficult, all I have to do is have faith that Spirit knows what it's doing, that Spirit has my best intentions at heart, that Spirit wants nothing but the best for me and those around me. So I just need to walk in trust and faith that Spirit, my guides, know what they're doing, and that everything will work itself out in the end. And lastly, pain, change, discomfort, it's all illuminating, and it shows you again where you don't want to be to help your trajectory get to where you should be or where you want to be, to manifest those things that you want in your life. As Paul mentioned in my biography, I am an illustrator. I am an artist. I've been drawing for about 20 years. I think almost 21 come this year. So I've been drawing for a long time. And it's not something that just kind of happened overnight. It's taken years and years, unfortunately, a lot of money to get to the skill level and the mental understanding of my artwork. But one of the biggest pieces of advice I would give to y'all in this, if I was teaching an art class, I probably wouldn't frame it quite like this, but a big piece of advice I would give is to dislike your artwork. Um, if you know what you don't like about your artwork, something that you want to change about what you're drawing, something that you wish was different, it helps you understand where you want to go and what the changes that need to happen to get you to a place of comfort, a place of satisfaction, a place of pride. So if there's something you want to change, like, oh, this is out of proportion, the perspective is off, the hand is too small, drawing hands are really hard, I don't like drawing hands. All these different things kind of help you understand the changes that you want to make, and then you can finally progress and progress and progress until you finally sit back and realize, I actually like this. This is really good. It may not be perfect, but the imperfections I'm okay with. Or maybe the imperfections give it character. The imperfections are what make it amazing. And that's what makes it a masterpiece. So I think just kind of that bit of advice of just knowing that your discomfort will guide you to where ultimately you want to go and ultimately where you would like your direction of life path to take you. And then finally, that will lead us into acceptance, which is kind of the fourth and final stage, where acceptance, there comes a point where you have to kind of let go, kind of relinquish, and kind of succumb to the pain. And when I say that, again, like how I mentioned in nature, not to numb it, not to drown in pain, not to wallow in the self-pity, not to become stagnant where you freeze up because everything is happening, but just to release, like the seahorse, go with the current, flow through the difficult times. When you need to ground, anchor, and just know that you're going to make it to your destination, to the other side. That sense of, again, walking in faith, just releasing it to the universe, just saying like, hey, I don't know what tomorrow is going to happen, was going to look like, but I know that Spirit has my best intention at heart, and Spirit is guiding me to where I need to go. So accept and surrender yourself to vision, walk in faith, that which is unknown to you. And again, Spirit knows what's around the corner, even if it's not apparent to you at this time. I think I might be coming up on time, so I'll just kind of cut it here and give some time for questions if anyone has any. And I do also have some discussion prompts that we can also get into as well into some breakout rooms. So with this, I think I'll stop sharing my screen and we'll kind of go from there. Uh,
Anybody have a general question for Freddie at this point, or something you'd like to comment on real quick? Because I know he's got at least one breakout room he wants to do, maybe two. Joan?
Yeah, I just wanted to say I enjoy your graphics and a
Oh,
lot of good information, really good talk.
yeah. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, I didn't design them myself, but I do think they're cool.
Oh, well, never mind.
I love it. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
The seahorse metaphor around it grounding itself when it gets turbulent, that was pretty cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah, they're
So
beautiful creatures.
I'm a Pisces. My
Oh.
birthday is coming up very short this weekend, as a matter of fact. Are you a February baby too, or
March, just barely, March 1st.
okay, so you're very late in Pisces then, right?
Yeah, it's funny. I was supposed to be in Aries. I was supposed to be born on my grandfather's birthday, but I came early, and my mom was like, "Thank God." So I feel like I was a little more easygoing than good fireside. But yeah,
Yeah, very, very good. So I am going to relate to the seahorse a little. Anybody else have anything they want to ask Freddie? I know he wants to do at least one breakout room. We'll see how that goes, Freddie. If not, are we ready? Do you want to? What's your inquiry for the first for this breakout room?
yeah. If we're going to, do we have time for just one?
I'm going to say let's shoot for one, see where we're
Okay.
at, and then go for two.
All right. So if we're just going to go for one, I'll do a scenario. And this was something that I try to do for myself, just to kind of help ground myself or kind of give context to situations that I'm going through. So I'm going to put this in the chat so folks can follow along, but I'll also read the prompt in general. So imagine yourself in the future, distant future, 10, 15, 20 years, however long, but just imagine yourself in the future, and 6-year-old you comes up and is asking you for advice on how to overcome something painful that you're going through right now. Um, so with yourself being in the future, you have all this wisdom, this extra life experience. What advice would you give to 6-year-old you on how to overcome the pain that you're experiencing right now? And something that was helpful for me is to explain it like you would to a 6-year-old. Um, Adulthood is so complex, but when we explain things to kids, it's very black and white so that they can understand. Don't make the explanation so complex. Really just try to give yourself advice in the wisdom, just super simple and clear. And then tell that to yourself to try and get through the tumultuous time that you're going through right now. If whatever you're going through is personal, you don't have to share that. You can generalize it however you need. But yeah, I just thought that might be an interesting kind of thinking piece to kind of frame what we're going through.
So we're gonna go 5 minutes, y'all, and probably two in a room, and you each get 2.5 minutes to talk, and we'll do a quick share right after. Are you ready, Freddie? I
Good.
like
Yeah.
it. Okay, Peter.
Okay, here we go. See you later.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for participating. And thank you so much to my partner. It was great to talk with you. Sorry we got kind of cut off then. Would anyone want to share out if we have a time, maybe just one or two quick responses on just something that might have come up for you?
Well, Joan and I were paired together, and I just thought, if Joan, if you don't mind, I'll reveal what we chatted about, or go for it. Okay, so Paul is 66 on Sunday, and 20 years from now, he'd be 86, and a 6-year-old Joan comes. And basically, I told her, really, you got a pain? You have no idea what pain is. But really, I just basically said I would tell the 6-year-old Joan to be patient and that it's not forever. And and this time tomorrow, it'll be all over. I guarantee it. Whatever, your hangnail will feel a lot better. And then Joan shared with me that she has grandchildren, and that she she would empower them to examine the source of the pain and coach them through it and coach them to look for a solution that would relieve whatever the pressure is. She would guide them with love and kindness and exploration. And then she said that I'd get them real creative to draw it out, so to speak. So that was our experience, right, Joan? You're good with that? That's what we experienced. Anybody else want to share, or do you want to go into another breakout room? Oh, Alice, you got something quick, darling?
Yeah, it was lovely. It was lovely sharing that. And one thing that was interesting is I realized that talking to the 6-year-old, I was able to give myself what I wanted when I was 6 years old, right? Which was for people to listen to me. So that was we had a good time, but that was just a really nice takeaway. Thank you. I'm complete.
Anybody else? Okay, Freddie, you want to set up the next one with the inquiry is about what we're going to investigate on number 2?
All right.
We're going to go a little bit over, but we'll make it up in the announcements tonight.
All right. So this next one, so I'm also putting it here in the chat. So what kind of person would you be without the pain you've gone through in your life? How would you be different? And what lessons would you not have learned? So with that, I'll let y'all take a moment to kind of think about that, look at the question, and then we'll hop into another round of breakout rooms.
Take us away, Peter, when you're ready.
Okay. See you later.
Okay, y'all.
All back. I think we're all back. So let's go into gallery view real quick if you need to, so we can see each other. How was that experience for everybody in our 2.5 minutes of sharing? Anybody have anything they want to cap off? What painful experience did you have, and how have you how have you landed? What lessons did you learn? How is that? What would your life be if that hadn't have happened? Is basically what Freddie was asking us, right, Freddie? Anybody got a quick recap? Want to share something?
Freddie.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sorry, John.
Joan. Yeah.
Me? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So it says, what kind of person would you be without pain? And I said, I'd be dead. Right? I mean, you can't be a plant or an animal or, pain is, you know, pain is. That's all.
Interesting. Thank you. Thank you,
And
Joan.
if I can speak, because we were paired together, Joan made a really fantastic quote, because it's something that I'm struggling with as an empath and someone who cares a lot. I'm just kind of paraphrasing, but to put yourself first, or you have to take care of yourself and water your own cup to be there for others. And that's something that I'm trying to learn, that I can't just give. I have to also put myself first. Otherwise, it can build resentment or anger or things like that, which may not be productive in the long run. So, yeah, thank you for that.
Something, Freddie, that helps me remember that is if you're in the horrible situation that the oxygen masks come down, don't put it on the lady sitting next to you first. You put it on you first so you can put her mask on her.
Right.
So, yeah, if you put your Joan has got in the chat, if you put yourself first, you're fully available to others without resentment or anger. Practice saying no gracefully. So I think if y'all are with me, we have learned an awful lot from being together and with Freddie's guidance tonight. Anybody else have a parting comment they want to say? If not, we're going to move the program along, but it doesn't move along until we say what? Thank you, Freddie. So let's show our appreciation to Freddie for letting us have this experience. And this experience is being recorded. So it's going to go out on YouTube and it'll be available on Monday, Freddie, if you want to go check it out yourself. And share it with your friends. Send them the link and tell them it's from Oakland Center, would you? Okay, with that happy thought, let's go into some quick announcements. Peter, when you're ready, because we're going to tell you what's coming. And we've got an exciting Sunday coming up this Sunday. And that's our own. Joan, you'll love this. Lucia Baker's going to be speaking on Sunday, this Sunday, February 25th. He's a ministerial candidate. We all adore him. He's from an illustrious CSL First Church family, and is one of our own. Grew up in that nursery in the lobby. He went there as a baby. Believe it or not, he'll be speaking to discomfort is the least of our concerns. Meditation is starting at 10 a.m., followed by the service at 10:30 on Wednesday, February 28th. At our midweek oasis, join practitioner Bonnie Allen for a deeper conversation on that very same topic. Meditation is at 6:30 and the service is at 7. Join our 2024 daily community spiritual practice using the Abundance Book 40-Day Prosperity Plan by John Randolph Price. Today we're on the 12th day of the program, which is the second affirmation in the book. Follow along daily in the order that the affirmations appear. There is a 1-hour discussion group with Reverend Sunshine every Wednesday on this link, on the Wednesday night link. This is the Wednesday 3 p.m. link for Abundance. So join her. And she will be here next Wednesday, February 28th. She's at the conference as we speak. Black History Month is an annual celebration of achievements by African Americans and a time for recognizing their central role in U.S. history. Since 1976, every U.S. president has officially designated the month of February as Black History Month. And we are celebrating with a bang in South Carolina at the convention. It's been so exciting, all the changes that are coming. More to follow on that. The Season for Nonviolence convenes January 30th through April 4th for 64 days, and it is commemorating the anniversaries of the deaths of Mahatma Gandhi and Martin Luther King Jr. Please contact Linda Wyman at bookstore at oaklandcsl.org or sign up at the front table on Sunday, and you'll be able to receive daily affirmations from Linda during this period. The Diversity Circle will meet on Friday, February 23rd at 7 p.m. via Zoom. The topic will be Black-Jewish relations, a discussion of music videos and a short film. They'll discuss the positive content of the videos as well as the difficult issues around allyship that can be inferred from the music. Please visit our website and select groups for more details. Agape Bay Area presents Dr. Michael Bernard Beckwith on Saturday, February 24th at First Congregational Church of Oakland. There'll be two separate live events. The first is a workshop for spiritual leaders and is from 10 a.m. to 12. And the second is an inspirational talk open to the general public from 2 to 4. Please see Thursday's Village newsletter for more information. The Lend a Hand Foundation has extended the collection for the following items: raincoats, ponchos, tarps, umbrellas, blankets, and socks. Please place your items of donation in the barrel located in the foyer of the Education Building by February 28th. We are thanking you in advance for your donations. In honor of Black History Month and Valentine's Day, the bookstore is giving a 30% discount on all social justice books, and for Valentine's Day, all books with love and/or hearts on the cover. Also, all jewelry is on sale as well. So if you've got that Valentine, you can make it up quick with a piece of jewelry at 30% off. The bookstore is open on Sundays right after service. Save the date. This year's annual meeting will be on Sunday, April 7th from 1 to 3. All are encouraged to attend. Food will be available after service. The nominating committee is looking to fill 3 open positions to serve as Board of Trustees. This is a great opportunity to serve our community through fiscal stewardship and oversight as a trustee. Basic requirements are commitment, loyalty, and supporting members, and 2 years of Science of Mind coursework. Please see the nomination committee for more information. I believe they'll have a table set up every Sunday going forward. We are launching an online community engagement survey on Friday, February 23rd. I understand this will be emailed to you. The focus of the survey is to gather information and analytics to better serve the community. The survey will be completed on March 8th. So we're going to show a picture now of all the wonderful volunteers and staff that are here at the centers to support us in all the many arenas. We're also encouraging you to go to our home office website, csl.org, to see what's happening within all of our centers for spiritual living and also from our leadership. Please visit our website. Sign up for the weekly newsletter, The Village News. Follow us on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook for special updates and content you'll only find by liking and subscribing to Oakland Center. Wow, all of this great activity, all of these great people that we've had tonight. Freddie is an offspring, I will say. He was also, like Lucian, part of our youth and family. And look at how far and wonderful he has come. With all his change and his pain, he's got a vision And we're so grateful. And that vision also includes for all of us our ability to demonstrate our abundance, to not only be open to receive it, but also willing to give it. So if, we're a church and we need money all the time to keep the lights on, and Reverend Sunshine, we got to keep her around for a while. And the folks upstairs that make all of this possible, a couple staff members and things like that. But it takes money, and that's the truth. And so if you have some that you're willing to share and give, we most welcome it and agree to receive it. But more importantly, when you give, you also receive. So we have this lovely little affirmation. So hold whatever that gift is close to your heart in time, treasure, or talent, and follow along as I read the affirmation. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies this offering. It blesses all that we are, all that we give, and all that we circulate. We thank you, love, as me and you. So if you'd like to donate financially to the center, go to our website, click that donate button with the hearts right there. That'll move you to another page where you can also see 5 or more ways to give. You can donate, you can Zelle it, you can text it. You can actually mail it if you wish. They still do that. Do it quick before the stamps go up. They're going up again. Or you can join us at service and put it in the offering basket as well. So many thank yous tonight. So many great things to be grateful for. First, I want to thank the wonderful Freddie Lambright III, our gifted and talented speaker tonight. He let us experience and look at pain in a new, different kind of way. I think a lot of us are going to go get seahorses for pets, I think, by the end of the week. They look easy to take care of, and they look strong enough to deal with me. So I can't wait to see what turns up in my fish tank upstairs. So thank you, Freddie, for leading us into new ideas around pain and visioning. I also want to thank the folks that are praying for us tonight at the open and closes, both of our Alice's, and the ministerial support, which seems to be vacant tonight. Did we have any ministers there? No. Why? Because they're all in South Carolina. So while the cats are away, the mices and mices or seahorses are going to play. So we're going to have fun. But we do recognize our lovely Reverend Deb Hammond, who's always with us on Wednesday nights. I know she's dabbling in South Carolina. Our Reverend Sally Bartholomew, my alternate host every other week. I'm taking her week this week so she could go to the conference. Reverend Ikea is around and will be around. So we'll be seeing her on Sunday. I have a date with her. And always, we thank our Reverend Dr. Sunshine Michelle Coleman for giving us this platform so we can be together in the middle of the week to feed one another spiritually and nourish ourselves so that we can continue our week and make it till Sunday. So with all of that, I want to thank all of you for being here. And I want to thank the folks that back us up. The Zoom team, Peter up in Portland, Alice Herndon at Lake Merritt, Oakland, and Alice Knutson over in Marin. Thank you so much, very much for taking care of us. And we want to give a shout out to Peggy Cotton tonight because she had to sub for Steve Carter. And Steve has come down with an illness, not too long. He'll be returning to work. We want to send our prayers of healing through this uncomfortable period he's in right now. We know all is well for him, and we give a big shout out to Peggy Cotton, who filled in all the places for us today administratively. We've had a successful evening, so I'm more grateful than that. We're ending pretty close to on time, and Reverend Sunshine will be happy with that. But we don't end until we have prayer to close us. The wonderful Alice Herndon has agreed to close us in prayer tonight. So Alice, I give you the floor, my dear.
All right, thank you.
You're muted, dear one. You got muted. There.
Okay.
Must be somebody on the AV team. I don't know who.
I know. Okay, here we go. If you just take a breath with me. All right. Oh, knowing that there's only one life, and that life is God's life, that life is my life, and it's the life of everyone within the sound of my voice and beyond. Oh, and we are just so thankful for this evening, for the sharing of information, of knowledge, of community. And we are so glad that Freddie Lambert III was able to share with us, to be with us, and to share this important topic. Pain pushes until vision pulls. Oh, and we are just so grateful for this time, so grateful for this togetherness. God is good. So if you agree with me, if you will join me in closing this prayer with, and so it is.
It is.
And
All
so
right.
it is.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Alice. Yeah, both Alices. Oh,
Thanks, everybody.
yeah, thanks.
Thank you. Did the
Mm.
Good
Did the
night.
Oh, I'll get it. Sorry.
Good night.
Nice.